see dead beer brands.
In your dreams? While you're awake?
They don't know they're dead.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. My grandmother always used to say, careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And Bud Light has finally gotten it. The Bud Light boycott is not only the most successful boycott in the history of all consumer boycotts in America, but it is also having a lasting effect, so much so that Bud Light is now firing thousands of staff, and the distributors are saying our brand will never recover. Bud Light has been defeated, and this is what they wanted, right? Because you could listen to the executives at Bud Light on interviews, not like behind the scenes or in the dark corner of a bar, drunk, late on a Saturday night, but literally on interviews, Alyssa Heinerscheid saying that she hates the Bud Light consumer, that it's fratty and it's out of touch, and that she despises the paying customer of Bud Light. So you would hope that Bud Light would be really happy with these results. This new breaking story, according to the New York Post. Bud Light distributors no longer expect sales to recover from Mulvaney disaster. This is an exclusive report, and we thought it was very interesting. Many Anheuser-Busch distributors have now resigned to their painful Bud Light losses, and they have given up on luring back dissatisfied customers following the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco, the Post has learned. After 4 months of hiring freezes and layoffs, some beer truck drivers getting heckled and harassed, even as Bud Light sales have dropped more than 25%, Anheuser-Busch wholesalers have accepted that they have lost a massive chunk of their consumers and need to focus on a new crop of drinkers. Customers have made a choice. An exhausted executive at a Texas-based beer distributor who did not want to be identified said, "They have left Bud Light, and that's how it's going to be. I don't envision a big percentage of them are ever going to come back." Man. Sales of the Anheuser-Busch beers, including Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, have been in decline since partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, the killer of brands. And so now the boycott is officially a success, as Bud Light admits defeat. There's an increasing feeling that Bud Light's declining rate could last for a while, and that distributors are worried about losing those drinkers to similar brands, says the executive editor of Beer Marketing Insights. A pair of social media posts by Mulvaney on April 1st, holding a 16-ounce can of Bud Light in a bubble bath, sparked backlash that lasted longer than anyone anticipated. The strategy of targeting younger, newer consumers is the right one, says Michael Stone, chairman of the Beanstalk Group, a New York-based branding firm. But Anheuser-Busch made a mistake executing on the strategy. Oh, yeah? What was that mistake? Hating your paying customers. That was the mistake. Not understanding your paying customers. And beer brands across the spectrum are taking note of this. Heineken boss says the companies must stand for your values in the wake of Bud Light Mulvaney marketing partnership. The guy who runs Heineken, which is a Dutch beer, says that he and the entire beer industry have learned from Bud Light's mistakes. He told CNBC that the companies have to beware of the polarization in society and stand for values. Okay, how about the values of just making beer? How about the values of simply having a brand where you are not spitting in the face of your paying customer? That seems to be a pretty good strategy. The CEO of Heineken has said that he's learned from rival beer maker Bud Light's mistakes and the dangerous marketing campaign featuring transgender TikToker Dylan Mulvaney. Dolph Vanderbrink said on Monday that companies have to be aware of polarization in society and stand for your values. Particularly in the Western world, we see a lot of polarization, and that's affecting all players, all actors in society, businesses, and brands. Here's a good idea. Stay out of politics. Just make beer. Nobody elected Bud Light. Just make beer. You have to be thoughtful. You have to be balanced. And at the same time, you need to stand for your values and principles. Okay, fine. Fine. But, like, how is this the standing for the values and principles of Bud Light? Like, this is clear. This is clear. If this is what Bud Light wants to be, then just embrace that. I mean, what's interesting about this is there's cowardice on all levels and on all sides. Bud Light is trying to have their cake and eat it too. So you're trying to partner with Dylan Mulvaney while at the same time maintaining your more traditionalist beer drinker, and it's not going to work. And then when this blows up in their face, they then turn and betray. They walk away, essentially. Dylan Mulvaney says they left me on red. They just walk away from that partnership, don't say anything, distance themselves, and so then you piss off the other side. And this is why you don't start. This is why you don't start with these kind of individuals, and you don't start with these kind of campaigns. It's very, very painful to see because good people will be hurt in all of this. The distributors are admitting defeat, and they're not going to try and get back any more customers. Listen to this ad that was cut by an Alabama distributor that ran on local radio.
Tatum, Vice President, General Manager of Bama Budweiser, your local Bud Light distributor. There's been a lot of discussion, frustration, and even anger across the country regarding just one single can made of Bud Light that was produced for a social media influencer. We too at Bama Budweiser are upset about it and have made our feelings known to the top leadership at Anheuser-Busch. The voice of the consumer has been heard, and Anheuser-Busch has taken action. We at Bama Budweiser, an independent wholesaler, employ around 100 people who live here, work here, and our children go to school here. We do not, and as I said before, did not support this issue involving Dylan Mulvaney. There was one single can made, was not for sale, and wasn't properly approved. As a result, the Bud Light brand has new leadership. Dylan Mulvaney is not under contract with Bud Light. The videos you may have seen are Mulvaney's own social media posts that went viral, and many web-based news outlets have distorted the story. You deserve to know the truth, and life is too short to let a couple of individuals decide what you can eat or drink or spend your hard-earned money on. And remember, making friends is our business, not enemies.
So painful. I mean, it's like the guy is reading that at the point of a gun. And we've played you clip after clip after clip of good, hardworking men in America that have had their entire lives destroyed by this partnership, by this decision, by Budweiser in order to enter into politics. And again, we're not saying that Bud Light should print a MAGA hat on every can, although that might be one of the ways to actually win back your customer base. We're saying that Bud Light should just stay the hell out of it. That people should stay the hell out of it at Disney, and that people should stay the hell out of it at Target and at Kohl's and at all these other organizations. Nobody cares. Stop bringing business into politics. The reason businesses feel like they need to go in and get into politics is because of ESG scores, because you need to prove that you're one of the good people on the good side. And ESG is run by communists, and so you need to essentially dictate communist tautology through your business in order to get a nice little score from the people who run the ESG racket. Elon Musk is saying that those individuals should be sued. Elon Musk calls ESG communism rebranded. It's perfect. And then saying that shareholders need to effectively create class action lawsuits against the organizations that destroy shareholder value through these dumb decisions by isolating their customer base and insulting their paying customer. Elon Musk is absolutely and totally correct in this. We look forward to those suits. Let me know where I can sign on. Watch.
Basically, some sort of like bizarre, like communism rebranded thing, which is like a lot of what ESG is. And to be inflicted upon corporate America without the knowledge of the actual shareholders, which is what's going on. The big firms, the T. Rowe, BlackRock, Vanguard, all of them, they're like they're setting themselves up for the biggest class action lawsuit in the history of class action lawsuits by an order of magnitude.
Yeah. Time for the hot topic buzz. Billionaire Elon Musk claims that ESG investing is, quote, communism rebranded. He said this during Friday's X Spaces virtual interview with GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Musk also calling out big firms, including BlackRock and Vanguard, predicting they're going to have the biggest class action lawsuits in history for not disclosing their ESG-related investments. I mean, Mike Lee, do you think he's got a point? I think he does. ESG's been a disaster. I'm sorry.
I have a friend who's much smarter than me, and he calls ESG the greatest scam ever perpetrated on Wall Street.